Alright, so here I am in Kentucky, in the south, and had to stop here. This is the Jefferson Davis Monument you see in the back here. Pretty amazing. Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy that led the secession of states. And here in the south they have a giant monument that looks like the Washington Monument. So I just had to stop. It was pretty amazing. So one of those things. All right, so I'll check in with you later, but I just figured that I'd share this with y'all. All right, bye. West Virginia. I want to give you a good view of the mountains around here. They're rolling green mountains, far different from the western mountains. Just towards evening, I'm about a half an hour from my campsite, and yeah, it's been quite an interesting trip coming through the Midwest and Missouri, Kentucky, into West Virginia. Some interesting differences as I roll through the country. One thing for sure is as I got into Missouri and Kentucky, there were two things. One is that it was terrible coffee. I couldn't find a decent cup of today. Luckily, I brewed up a cup of coffee this morning before I left camp. I got 2 separate cups of coffee on the way, and I dumped them out. They were so bad. I don't know what it is, but they can't make a decent cup of coffee. And beer. When I left the Northwest, it was really the last place I got any microbrews. When I went into South Dakota, there wasn't anything. There was some, I guess, microbrews, but they were really bad. So local brews. So when I got into Missouri, there was nothing. It was just your basic Budweiser, Miller, Michelob, whatever. Same thing with Kentucky. Finally got into West Virginia here, and there wasn't any microbrews from the local area, but I finally found a good old Pennsylvania beer, Yuengling, oldest brewery in the country. So I picked that up. Since there wasn't anything more local around here, but it's something that I can have back at camp once I get in, and after a long day's drive. So anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the countryside around here. Very interesting, very eastern looking compared to the west, and I'm enjoying this. This will be my last real camp. I'll be heading in towards Washington, D.C., visit my sister Kathleen, and then up to visit my brother Bill in Harleysville, Pennsylvania, before I head up to New York. So this will be the last camp, but a beautiful country out this way, and just wanted to share it with you a little bit. And just warn you that if you're ever in this neck of the woods, make sure you have a supply of beer, and bring your own coffee, because I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'll connect later, and I'll let you know how things are going. All right, till then. All right, well, here I am in West Virginia. I camped out last night, and I'm heading towards my sister Kathleen's place, just outside of DC. It's a nice, it's called the Seneca River here, and the leaves are just starting to change a little bit, but as I go north into Pennsylvania and up towards New York State, I'm sure the leaves will be in full color by then. A little bit of a coolness in the air, you can feel it. Yeah, so here it is, and just want to give you a little look here, and I'll catch you later, all right? All right, as you can see, a little different scenery, a little change of pace today. I'm here at Annapolis, Maryland, and, right by the Chesapeake. Had an opportunity to take a morning class, a sailing class. Went out on a small sailboat, 22-footer, and sailed around the bay for a bit. It's my first time doing that, so it was a lot of fun. And just beautiful down here. You can see all the boats out there, and very busy. But oh yeah, it's a little different from coast to coast. It went from one ocean to basically the other. So I never expected to be learning how to sail, but that'll come in handy. So it was a lot of fun. All right, so signing off for now, and I'll catch up with you later. Okay, well, I'm standing here on top of Little Round Top, a very interesting site of the Civil War and the Gettysburg battle. And so here I'm visiting the Gettysburg battlefields today, and this was a spot I couldn't pass up. I had to come to this one. This is where Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain performed a very interesting military maneuver, which saved the day as far as keeping Round Top under the north as the north position, repelling the Confederates that were coming up the hill here. And so these stone walls are still the same ones. You can see the very thick vegetation around. So it really gives you an idea of what happened here. There's a monument in the back to the main 20th. So as I turn it this way, you can see some of the other. So it's very thick through here, just as I described. And so what had happened was that the main 20th was almost out of ammunition, and they formed a line and used I can't remember the exact name of the maneuver, but it was like a hinge door maneuver, which swung down. So the very far left flank ran fastest, and the center column moved just slowly, so it hinged like a door and gave the illusion that it was a greater force coming down, even though they were almost out of ammunition and there was very few. But it ended up confusing the Confederates coming up the hill that were in greater number, and they ended up retreating, and ended up over 300 were captured and surrendered. So it was a really gutsy maneuver, and I thought that was a neat place to come and visit and to see it firsthand, just like I did with seeing Custer's Last Stand and all that. To see it in firsthand, you get a better feel for how everything lays out and how it all works. So much better than just reading off the pages. So yeah, so this is I'll send some pictures of the rest of the park. I had to stop here on my way. Here I am in Pennsylvania, and not too far from my brother, so I'm heading up there in a couple of hours. All right, signing off for now, and I'll catch up with you later. All right, well, I was just walking around here, and I had a little path, and I'm standing right below where right up there is the monument that showed the farthest left flank of Chamberlain's regiment, and that's where that hinged attack began from, and coming around. And if you can see, this is what I'm seeing here. So they kind of just came down through this way, and the Confederates were coming up the hill, and so they swung around, and you can see the hillside here a little bit. And so I'm standing right where the regiment would have come along here and swung down through here, kind of getting the whole walkthrough. So you can see the hill and how they would have run down through this thicket. And probably the thicket is pretty much the way it was then, very thick with undergrowth in this part of the country. And they just swung right on down and confused the Confederates that were Longstreet's Confederates that were coming up, General Longstreet, and ended up winning the day. So let's spin it around one more time. And it's not a really big hill, but big enough to give the advantage to the Union and Chamberlain's main 20th. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I thought it was pretty interesting seeing getting it from the downhill side. So signing off again. All right. Hey, Bill. We got it on video. So here we are on the along the Perkiomen Trail here, driving along the one section of the Perkiomen Trail, and down over there is Perkiomen Creek. So there we are. Just out on a what would you say? It's how many miles are we going to do today? Yeah, 15, 20 miles, a little ride in the afternoon. So yeah, we went out, had a beer in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and then just enjoying a nice ride back. We're going to have some Philly cheesesteaks when we get back home in Harleysville. So you get a little experience of our little bike ride. The leaves are changing here, and as I go up north tomorrow and through the Poconos, they should be pretty well in full color, so it should be interesting. So there we go, a little more. We're coming out into a more open area, and I'll touch base with you later on. All right, for right now, signing off. Okay, here we are with a authentic Philadelphia cheesesteak. Opening up with one hand here. Now that is a cheesesteak. Authentic Philadelphia cheesesteak right here. It's all in the bread. Just want to share this with you all from California. That's what the real thing looks like right there. All right, I'm going to enjoy myself right now with a cheesesteak and a beer after a long ride today, and I'll catch up with you later. Have a good evening.